Greetings to all our friends. My name is Maria, and I'm here with my sons, Giovanni and Marco. We are members of the Board of Directors of the Friends of Maple Grove.
Welcome to another wonderful program brought to you by the Friends of Maple Grove. October is Italian-American Heritage and Culture Month, honoring the achievements and contributions of Italian immigrants and their descendants living in the United States, particularly in the arts, sciences, and culture.
To mark this month-long celebration, the Friends of Maple Grove is extremely proud to host a unique photographic exhibit created by the Queen's Historical Society. This will be our first collaboration with this esteemed organization. Our art gallery in the center at Maple Grove will showcase an extraordinary display of historic photographs entitled Il Paese Vecchio, Italian-Americans in Queens. The images celebrate the unique stories, traditions, immigration history, and culture of Italian-Americans in Queens. You are all welcome to visit this exhibit during normal business hours at the center. To herald the opening of this exhibit, we are presenting a short program, including a brief lecture honoring 3 Italian-Americans who are now buried at Maple Grove Cemetery: John Baptiste Giampietro, Lucia Cataldi, and Vincent Hercules Nacarat.
We will then perform some beloved Italian songs, and some poems will be read by Enzo Bifulco.
We cannot thank you enough for your membership, support, and encouragement over the years. Thank you for your continuing membership, and if you are not a member, please consider becoming one. Application forms can be found on our website. Your support funds many wonderful programs and events like the one we have today. Thank you, and enjoy the program.
Today we honor 3 Italian-Americans buried at Maple Grove. John Giampietro was the son of Horace and Molly Giampietro, both born in Italy. John Baptiste Giampietro was born in Delaware on June 24, 1912. John's father, Horace S. Giampietro, was a noted musician who played the clarinet. He played with the National Guard Band of Delaware and the Delaware Symphony. Horace also played with the great composer and conductor, John Philip Sousa. Horace also played with Victor Herbert, the noted cellist and composer of many successful operettas. During the Great Depression, Horace's son John began to work with the Works Progress Administration, the Federal Music Project, FMP, which employed musicians to perform at free or low-cost public performances, create original compositions, and provide music instruction for adults and children. John is also listed as working with the Civic Orchestra of New York. John, a noted trombonist, played with the New York Philharmonic Symphony, conducted by Radzinski, the NBC Symphony Orchestra under Toscanini, and the New York City Symphony, conducted by Stanislavski. In 1949, John was appointed personal manager of the Delaware Philharmonic. John came to Maple Grove Cemetery in 1982.
Lucia Cataldi was born in 1924 in the beautiful city of Naples, Italy. Naples is a lively and vibrant city, full of wonderful historic and artistic treasures with narrow winding streets filled with small shops. Lucia was the oldest of 10 children and a very close-knit family. The joys of childhood ended abruptly during the horrors of World War II. Naples was the most bombed Italian city during the war. There were over 200 airstrikes on Naples between 1940 and 1944 by Allied forces, with 180 raids on the city in 1943. It is estimated that civilian casualties were between 20,000 to 25,000. Lucia was 16 years old when the bombings began and saw many atrocities. Her mother was pregnant with her 10th child, so Lucia became the caregiver for her family. Below the city of Naples, there were many underground tunnels, caves, and caverns. These were used by thousands of people as a shelter from the heavy bombings that decimated the city. She and her family went down into those tunnels, some 17 stories underground. It was here her youngest brother Salvatore was born. Lucia would climb up and down the stairs many times a day, searching for food for her little brothers and sisters. It was a struggle to climb up with so many people going up and down, and when the air raid sirens went off, there was a terrible panic with people screaming, pushing, and shoving to get away. She would never forget the sounds of those sirens. She saw her aunt and her 2 small children killed by one of the bombs. It was difficult times, but she either had to become strong or she would die, and she refused to die because her family depended on her strength. Lucia did everything she could for her family, and even was forced to steal food to feed them. Once, after a few days of having nothing to eat, she went up to the surface and was able to sneak onto an Italian Navy ship that was seized by the Germans and found some coffee and flour. As she hid and crawled through the ship, she passed the captain's quarters and saw a small silver sugar bowl which she quickly grabbed. She suffered a terrible guilt stealing it. Finally, after what seemed like decades, the war ended. Lucia met an American soldier and became a war bride and came to America. Lucia raised a family in America and had 2 children, Nancy and Johnny. Nancy Cataldi became a well-known photographer and preservationist of historical homes and lived in Richmond Hill, Queens. She became the president of the Richmond Hill Historical Society for many years and was honored numerous times for her work. Lucia and Nancy were buried together in Maple Grove Cemetery in 2008. The silver sugar bowl is still preserved by the family and has become a symbol of their strength.
Our next honoree is Vincent Hercules Naccarato. Vincent was born in South Ozone Park, Queens in 1942. He became friends with other local Italian-American boys and due to their love of music formed a singing group. All of the original members started with the first tenor Michael Mencilli and Rosario Maurice, also known as Sonny, who later left the group when he joined the Navy. The original group regathered in 1958, and it included Nick Santa Maria, who was the lead baritone, second tenor Frank Rainier, and baritone Vinny Naccarato, and bass John Cassis. They all had a love for music and formed a band. The name of the group was the Capris, and it was thought that the name came from the popular car of that era, the Lincoln Caprice. The Capris sang for a number of years and began to perform at local functions until their unique style as a doo-wop group developed. Doo-wop, a vocal style of rock and roll characterized by the a cappella singing of nonsense syllables and rhythmical support of the melody. The term doo-wop is derived from the sounds made by the group as they provided harmonic background for the lead singer. The roots of the doo-wop style can be found as early as the records of the Mills Brothers and the Ink Spots in the 1930s and 40s. The reputation of the Capris increased, and by 1958 they recorded 2 songs for Planet Records, Indian Girl and There's a Moon Out Tonight. When the record sold badly, they disbanded and went their separate ways. Alan Fredericks, a late-night radio disc jockey, continued to play their song, piquing the interest of Jerry Green, an employee of the Times Square record store. Green purchased the master and reissued the record on Lost Night Records. Wynn's 1010's disc jockey Murray the K played the song often and it sold well. realizing that their manufacturing and distribution capacity could not meet the demands of a hit record, Green and Lost Night sold their interest to Old Town Records, which had the capacity to meet the needs of the 1961 number 3 national hit. That national hit was the 1961 There's a Moon Out Tonight. For a time, the Capris toured and performed in major venues all over the United States. They experienced a popularity and performing resurgence in the 1980s, when 3 members reformed and the Manhattan Transfer recorded their song Morse Code of Love, which reached the U.S. Hot 100 and the U.S. AC Top 20. Santo, Micheli, and Rainier, with other singers, continued to perform as the Capris until at least 2002. Vincent died on December 26, 2008, and came to rest at Maple Grove Cemetery. Thank you.
Sherry was written by Bob Gaudio in 1962 in a span of 15 minutes while he was driving to a rehearsal. It was sung by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons and reached the top of the charts in 1962. The Pink Panther theme was an instrumental composition by Henry Mancini in 1963 for the film. It was also later used in the cartoon.
Sono Enzo Bifulco, vengo da San Giuseppe Vesuviano. Voglio dedicare questa mia poesia a tutti i napoletani e a tutti gli italiani. La poesia si intitola Paese Mio. A quando sto in America e so tant'anni, non t'ho visto più, paese mio. Dinda sto cuore quanta nostalgia che mi consuma e non mi fa campare. Napoli mia, sì tutta la vita mia, non c'è nessuno più sincero di te. Il cielo è sempre azzurro, il mare è sempre blu, sti ninni paesani sono sempre nubiciù. E questa è via Caracciolo, e questa è Margellina, a casa di mamma mia, io non mi scordo più. Ma me ne resta a Napoli, questo è il paese mio, e insieme a mamma mia, io qua voglio campare. Era primavera quando ti incontravo, in questo giardino, pieno di rose e viole. È bello come il sole, in a questo cuore, portaste l'allegria, ci portaste amore. Ma com'è strana vita, mo che mi stai lontana, e senti in dall'anima tanta malinconia. E quando primavera, ad anno sono tornata, dinga sto giardino, a dove io t'aspetto ancora. Dinga sto giardino, a dove io t'aspetto ancora.
Hello. As I join Friends of Maple Grove in celebrating Italian Heritage Month, I must confess that I don't know any Italian. I don't speak it and I don't sing it. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't like to learn, but we'll save that for another time. In the meantime, I would like to do the next best thing, which is to honor an Italian-American, very talented singer named Dion DiMucci, born in the Bronx, New York in 1939. And you may remember him by association with the Belmonts in the late 50s and early 60s. Runaround Sue, The Wanderer, and some other hits at that time. But then in the late 60s, on his own, he recorded a song which was more introspective, and it honored 4 fallen Americans. The name of the song is called Abraham, Martin, and John, and I hope you like it. Anybody here seen my old friend Abraham? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems the good they die young. You know, I just looked around and he's gone. Anybody here seen my old friend John? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems the good they die young. I just looked round and he's gone. Anybody here seen my old friend Martin? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems the good they die young. I just looked around and he's gone. Didn't you love the things that they stood for? Didn't they try to find some good for you and me? And we'll be free someday, soon. It's gonna be one day. Anybody here seen my old friend Bobby? Can you tell me where he's gone? I thought I saw him walking up over the hill with Abraham and Martin and John.
Una poesia di Enzo Bifulco, dal titolo Marco. La mattina del 7 settembre, un tocco di campanello annunciò la nascita di Marco. Grazie Katie e grazie Franco, mi avete battezzato nonno. Mi batte il cuore, è festa, è grazia, è gioia. Sono fiori di pace, per fare memoria di una storia stampata nel cuore di nonno Enzo. Sono felice, ringrazio la mia famiglia, i miei amici che hanno camminato assieme a me. Sono contento e canto nel ricordo di chi non c'è più. Che i semi gettati diventano frutti. Ci sarà più amore. Voglio vivere a lungo. Ora la mia vita ha più senso. Marco, sono io tuo nonno. Ti voglio bene. Il mio amore per te non avrà mai fine.
This poem was written by Enzo Bifulco for his grandson, Marco Enzo.
The melody was written by Tony Esposito. We hope you enjoy. E 9 mesi, t'aggio portato insieme, in monte braccia e gioia camadaia. Io t'ho vuole sentire quello che sento, mentre ta dorme io canto nina nanna. Nonna, 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 nonnarella, Cristi Santo, Marco Bello. Tieni a faccella che bella con lo sole, due gocce male son gli stoghi tuoi, una rosa profumata sul stile e una carezza tua nuvesile. Nonna, 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 nonnarella, Cristi Santo, Marco Bello. Anche sei nato, tu proprio mi cantato, e quanta cosa con te m'hai imparata. Ma mo solo una cosa voglio a te, che tutta stringe forte in braccia a me. Nonna, 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 nonnarella, Cristi Santo, Marco Bello. Nonna, nonna, nonna,
adorarvi, voglio amarvi, luccicare. Amando penerò, ma sempre vamerò, sì, sì, nel mio penare. Amando penerò, ma sempre vamerò, sì, sì, nel mio penare. Penerò, vamerò, luccicare. Penerò, vamerò, luccicare. Senza speme di diletto, vano affetto e sospirare. Senza speme di diletto, vano affetto e sospirare. Ma i vostri dolci rai, chi vagheggiar può mai, non va mare. Ma i vostri dolci rai, chi vagheggiar può mai, non va mare. Penerò, vamerò, luccicare. Penerò, vamerò, luccicare.
There's a moon out tonight. Whoa-oh-oh-ooh. Let's go strolling. There's a girl in my heart. Whoa-oh-oh-ooh. Whose heart I've stolen. There's a moon out tonight. Whoa-oh-oh-ooh. Let's go strolling through the park. Whoa-oh-oh-ooh. I never felt before. There's a girl at my side. That I adore. There's a glow in my heart. I never felt before. Oh, darling, where have you been? I've been longing for you all my life. Oh, baby, I never felt this way before. I guess it's because there's a moon out tonight. There's a glow in my heart. Whoa-oh-oh-ooh. I never felt before. There's a girl at my side. Whoa-oh-oh-ooh. That I adore. There's a glow in my heart. Whoa-oh-oh-ooh. I guess it's because there's a moon out tonight. Moon out tonight. Moon out tonight. Moon out tonight.